1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Oh, thank God. Sir, we don't have room here today. No. Turn back around, sir. Sir.
All right. My baby gets me from point A to point B on the road from time to time to get the hell away from the Quevedos. And here we are in Blackbird Studios, which is kind of where we initially got back together in the reunion. It was after the meeting of lunch with Raul to talk about a tour. He sprung on us that he had a record that he wanted to make. And he didn't just want to do a tour, he wanted to make a record. So before we had played a note live, rehearsed or done anything, we came straight into the studio. So I'm going to take you in here and show you my little wall really quickly.
Here you come again, acting like a stranger. Here you come again.
But the best thing about Blackbird, in my opinion, is the first time we came here, I didn't do this, but John McBride, the owner, asked me after we had finished recording in time what drum set I used. And I said I used one of my Slingerlands. And he said, you brought drums to Blackbird? And I said, yeah. And he said, bringing drums to Blackbird is like taking sand to the beach. Or there was another, like, taking something to Vegas. I'm not quite sure what that was. Just kidding. Anyway, so he has, I'm going to say, about 60 vintage drum kits, of which this is one of them.
And my heart's in danger. I don't know what it is I'm feeling. I don't know what it is I've done. I hope it knows the hand you're healing. Well, go on hurting me when you're gone.
This kit is an old leady, kind of made up of an old leady kick drum, and it's just really beautiful sounding. I'm going to say this is about 1928, this drum. But it just has the sound, it's just... So pretty much everything past in time was recorded with these drums and cymbals. So now, when I come, I don't even have to bring drums at all, and I don't bring anything. It's set up. We've been in here enough that they know what I like, so that's what they do. They just set it up, and I say, Miko knows, our producer, what I might want to play or what song we're doing, and he'll just pick it, and I say, you put it in there, and I'll whack on it.
I think it's going to be a combination of guitar and saxophone. I kind of hear the saxophone, kind of almost like a Careless Whisper. You know how that became like the lead instrument?
I can hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're going there. We're going there.
The easiest way to understand any studio is that it goes from the top down. So if the person that owns the studio or the person that's running the studio loves making records, then when you're there, you'll love making records. Because everything is set up from somebody that has that passion.
Here I am again. Just a fool you're using, wondering where I've been. And I can't win for losing. My only hope is in tomorrow. You took all my yesterdays.
before I show you the rest of the studio, I want to show you the drum room. That is where they keep all these drums, because it's truly amazing. There's more drums in there than the local drum shop, so great. I'll take you there. As I said, about 60 vintage kits in this room. So I just came in here, and this is like drum porn here. So beautiful old round badge Gretsch. These are all very rare drum sets, and they all sound fantastic. Again, they've enough cymbals, modern snare drums, old snare drums. Say Raul says, hey, I want something a little trashier sounding. And I'll come up here and I'll just grab one of these and try and find the one that sounds the way we want for a specific song, what suits the song, and then we'll use that. So that's my favorite part about Blackbird.
I can't deny the hold you got on me. I just didn't want to see. This ain't the way love's supposed to be. Oh, why won't you just set me free?
You may go from a three mic rock and roll setup to a 7 or 8 mic tight studio setup with the same kit within 5 minutes, because Sean's actually already got both of those working. So for the artists, they can go out and say, oh, I want to sing it this way, or I want to feel this, or I want this to be a little bit more rhythmic. Boom, we can make all the changes, and there it is. They can go from a big room sound to a really tight studio sound. They never get up from their chairs. Normally, if you didn't have a facility that was as tuned into that kind of philosophy and that kind of record making and that freedom, and didn't set up to allow you that kind of freedom or have the equipment to give you that kind of freedom, that would be a 3-hour proposition to try 3 different things. At Blackbird, it takes 10 minutes, 15 at the most, and that's if you make coffee.
Let's try this.
You come again.
We're basically like the backbone of the studio, where we make the sessions go as smooth as possible. In the Mavericks session, there's about 5 interns. In this particular session, the last Mavericks session I did, there was only 2 of us. But as a whole intern staff, we have about 20 people. When we have big sessions like the Mavericks, we tend to run out of things pretty quickly. And we want to make sure we have extra supplies on deck, just to make sure that we're being efficient and fast in order to get the job done correctly. So in here, we have our amp room. And like I said, there's about 35 to 40 different amps that we carry, all top of the line. So as you can see, we have Fender amps, we got the Marshalls over here, a lot of classic models that we have. This Fender Bassman 66 would probably be one of our oldest models that we carry. So the Mavericks are definitely a different kind of vibe. I've never experienced a session any other like the Mavericks. They just have such a fun, carefree vibe. And everything with them is, of course, professional, but it's important for them to have fun and really feel the music that they're creating. And that's a super important part for me, just because I'm a lover of music. That's why we're all here. So the Mavericks bring that love and that special sort of vibe to the studio over here. So as an intern, we just called back into the big live room to move and swap out a keyboard. We're also getting a new amp for the Mavericks.
Well, the first time we came in, again, it was to record in time. It was a little nerve-wracking. I was meeting Nico for the first time, and he was great. We're getting drum sounds and stuff, and Raul's like, hey, I have this idea, and he was playing Back in Your Arms. Jerry Dale was living in Jacksonville at the time. So he was driving in, and Raul's like, okay, let's try a little bit of this. And so we're playing it, and Goofy and I go, hey, let's go ahead and cut this. We weren't scheduled to start recording till the next day. It was just a setup day and to get sounds and stuff like you do very often. We called Jerry Dale and said, hey, where are you? And he's like, I'm about a half an hour out. We're like, okay, hurry up. We're gonna cut this track. He goes, we're cutting it tonight? So he's like, yeah. So he came in, we all said hello, hadn't seen each other in years. And he walks in, and we start the beginning of Back in Your Arms, and he comes in with that Farfisa line, that dun, 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 just perfect. And we recorded that first take. Back in Your Arms again was the Mavericks getting back together. And that's when I knew, that's when I had that feeling, was holy shit, this is special. And that right then, that's when we recorded that song, I was like, okay, we're gonna be doing this for a while.
I don't know what it is I'm feeling. I don't know what it is I've done. I only know the hand you're healing will go on hurting me when you're gone.
Hey man, that was a great idea. on so many levels.
It's good enough.